Hello everyone. So here we are today. Talking about mixed scholarship. So I'm Krishna, and I have my guest today, Alex.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Alex, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Alexander or
Okay.
Alexander Berg,
Mm,
and I'm studying at TOHO GAKUEN Filming Techniques College in
mm,
Tokyo, Japan right now.
mm. So what major are you studying?
I'm studying animation, actually.
That's fucking amazing. I can see your
Yeah.
inspiration in the back. Like all the art stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I have some art, some illustrations.
What year did you come to Japan?
I came in 2019,
Mm.
April, same as you. But I've been here for 2 years now, but I also
Mm,
studied before 2014 for 2 years in Osaka,
mm.
studying just the Japanese language then.
Okay. So how has it
So,
been so far for you?
well, it's been good, but
Uh-huh.
as the with the situation of Corona, it's been quite lonely maybe because
Mm.
we had to stay home for like 3 months at first, and no interaction with anyone, and then we started school, and just like everyone's wearing masks. Um, there are some like difficult situations. We can't
Mm-hmm.
have all the lessons we're supposed to have,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and some like lecturers can't come to school. Sometimes they cancel because of Corona.
Really?
So yeah.
Oh my God.
So like sometimes we're supposed to have like this super animator or like super person in the industry, but then
Mm-hmm.
in the end it's been like canceled because of the Corona restrictions.
That that's just sad. Like
Yeah.
even my school, like there's so many school trips that got canceled.
Yeah, that too, because we're gonna
And
have like a big trip in the beginning of school to get to
like
know our
like
classmates.
so Alex, tell me, so what
Hmm.
what is animation is about?
Animation, what it's about.
Yeah.
Basically, animation uh, is about moving pictures, basically. So it's kind of like my major right now is actually gonna change
Mm,
starting this year. So
mm,
first, it was more towards like traditional animation. You draw by hand, uh, like most of animation is done right now. But
mm,
as time is changing, like 3D animation is more popular.
mm,
So starting this year is gonna be like more towards like digital animation. You draw
mm.
from a digital software like Clip Studio. I don't think Photoshop can animate, but like they have like a Adobe Animate uh, version, like
Mm-hmm.
drawing from there, and also just like 3D models, like doing animation with 3D animation. Right now, what it looks like is more, it's like a lot of animation, and then it's like talking about like movies in general,
Mm.
and how like movies are structured, and it's a lot of illustrations also. So like a lot of just drawing illustrations as well, not as much 3D stuff, but I think it's gonna be more starting this year. Yeah.
So the moment that you start school, you start drawing from day one.
Basically, like the first thing we had to do during the quarantine, because we
Mm,
had like a month or two getting stuff like homework sent to us. It was a lot of like try to replicate this scene from this
mm,
anime, for example. So we
mm,
took like a screenshot from an anime, and then we
mm,
tried to like color it and draw it like that style, and then just like drawing a lot of hands, or something like that. Draw a lot of like lines and circles just to practice like our steadiness in our hands, basically like that stuff.
so you start with like the basic drawing, and then they move on to the animation, right?
Yeah. So it's kind of funny because it sometimes it feels like it's jumping back and forth. Like some
Mm,
stuff are like very advanced, some stuff are very simple. I
mm,
think what many think they're gonna do when they get in there, at least what I thought, was we were gonna like start and just try to like draw this scene from Naruto or something like that.
mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm.
actually, you have to do like a lot of like original like stuff because of the copyright laws. You can't really like draw that many like already existing stuff, so you have to
Uh,
be like very creative.
So do you think it's okay for those who don't know how to draw to study the
Yeah,
animation
definitely,
too?
definitely,
Really?
definitely.
Do you have any
Yeah.
friends? Do you have any friends there who like, they started with like cannot draw and then they
Mm.
went into like advanced into it and became like a master animator or something?
There are probably people like that. Like we have a lot of people, professionals that come from
Mm,
outside, and they
mm,
talk about like they didn't really know how to do this one thing. Like we had
mm,
this one person that didn't know how to like direct a project or like draw a storyboard, for example. He's like a professional storyboard artist.
mm,
I
mm,
don't think I
mm,
can say his name, but he's done like stuff like like Boruto, for example,
mm,
Never Promised Neverland.
mm,
Uh, so basically, what he said, like most people say is like in the end, like contacts or like connections are most important because
mm,
he basically got into his job by meeting this other person who
mm,
said like, hey, I like you, like why don't you storyboard for this next project I have, so basically he got into that way, and then you just have to work hard. That's basically the policy. You just have to
what?
work hard and you will get there. But I
Mm,
can say like in my class, like there's definitely people that draw like really good. It's
mm,
like, oh my god, like you're already like pro level already, and
mm,
then there's like, I don't know, basically like beginner level. But that's the also the difficult thing with like a creative like profession, like animation or illustration, is that it's kind of hard to measure
mm,
the standards because every it's for your own level, right? So basically, like the illustration class, they measure by how much you've improved and how much you have listened to the teacher's advice, for example. So if you really want to like push yourself, like I usually do, you get really tired because you try to always like improve your work, but it
mm,
also takes so much time compared to if you don't want to focus on like backgrounds, for example. You just want to
mm.
draw like the character or not any like difficult posing, like a dynamic posing. So it's really like different for everyone.
So yeah, is there any difference between studying like your major in Japan and also studying it somewhere else?
Definitely, I would say, especially with like animation, right? I don't think that many countries are like that big into like animation, like Sweden, for example. Basically, Sweden doesn't really like do anything with animation. Like the
Uh-huh.
only animation we do, I think, is like more into the game for game companies to do animation for games. But of course, like other countries are like America, they have a lot of like animation schools and art schools, but they have more into the Western sort of style of animation. So I know what I've seen from many are like when they try to draw like anime style, which is also very popular. The teachers will be like, anime is not art. You shouldn't do this. Like
Yeah.
animation is not like real art. But with a Japanese school, then like my school, it's very much towards animation. So if you
Mm-hmm.
try to do something else, I would say like it's also kind of difficult because everyone is basically drawing for anime. All the teachings are also towards like traditional like Japanese animation. So if you like Japanese animation, I think definitely you should study in Japan.
Okay. For
Yeah,
all the weeps out there, just saying,
yeah, exactly,
just
exactly.
saying, because I'm also one of you guys too. Yeah.
And all the
So
teachers are so like into Japanese animations.
yeah, I
They
mean,
know
they have to
everything.
be into it.
Yeah, that was a really surprising thing. They're all really
Um.
like into the work and they do like a lot of research. So if there's like a topic, I remember when there was like the Sailor Moon redraw, it
Mm,
was popular on Twitter. Like our
mm,
teacher was like telling us about it like the
mm.
next day, like, have you guys seen this? So it's not like super outdated information. They don't know anything about the newer stuff. They know like basically more than probably most of the students even.
Mm-hmm. That's so
So
nice.
that's really good.
Before entering school, like, did you have to prepare anything, like any special skills or something? Or
Like
it's
what you
just,
need to prepare,
mm.
like of course, studying in Japan, you need to be able to speak, read, write Japanese.
So your course
So
is all in Japanese, right?
it's all in Japanese. I never
Okay.
speak English. And try and get Japanese like JLPT N2. That's what
Mm-hmm.
they require. Other than that, there's nothing really you need to prepare. But if you want to prepare, you should definitely like just try and create stuff for like your portfolio, or try and like think at least like what you exactly want to do. Because when you start, you don't really have any time to really think about like what sort of profession you want to go to. You should probably already have in your mind like I want to do 3D, or I want to draw like keyframes or something like that. That's definitely what I think you should prepare. Just think what sort of career you want to move towards.
Mm-hmm. That's good though. Like
Yeah.
if you think beforehand, because like Semon Gakko is like 2 years school only.
Yeah,
So
it's kind of short.
it's kind of really short because like we just started school like yesterday and now we finished
Mm,
first year.
yeah.
Mm,
And also a good point is that the Japanese, like if you want to search for work in Japan,
mm,
they have a very special way of doing the whole shukatsu, as they say, like job searching. So basically in Japan, everyone searches around the same time, and it only
mm,
becomes more and more early. Apparently before it was like around later fall or something like that. And then because every single company wants to have the best ones, they start their application a little bit earlier, like each year. So now it has moved until the start of the year, or like March as it is right now.
mm,
So actually, before you have to like already know what sort of path you want to move on to, you only have around a year to think,
mm.
and then you have to start searching. So even if you have 2 years, you have to know by the first year or even earlier uh, what sort of path you want to move on to, because you have to search work, or otherwise you're too late, especially as a foreigner. You need to get that visa clarified real soon. Yeah.
Have you started like Shishoku Katsudo yet?
Yeah, like for me, I've done mostly like researching,
Mm-hmm.
looking up like what sort of companies are out there, what's required to get a job. And to get a job is mostly just, like the animation industry is not really that hard to get into, as long as you're willing to work and you have like some sort of skills, uh, like almost anyone can get in. But it's also kind of low income. So you have to be ready for that. Like a lot of like,
So what are the career choices after you study animation like in Japan here?
there are quite many,
Mm,
like storyboard artists, like keyframe or doga, as they say, keyframe and just the in-betweens frames artist, or like illustrator, also like editing, like editing of video, for example, or like effects. You can do internship also. Like right
mm-hmm,
now my school is sending like so many different internships for like companies like Bones or A1 Pictures, or Ufotable that did like Kimetsu no Yaiba, Demon
mm-hmm,
Slayer. My
mm,
friends searched there, didn't really
mm,
get it. It's also
mm.
a little bit difficult now with the Corona things, so they can't really take in too many sometimes, even though they say it's about the same as last year. Without Corona, it should be around the same, but
Mm-hmm.
we'll see.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
That's a lot of career choices.
yeah, there are
Mm.
definitely.
So which one did you choose?
Me, um, so I'm still thinking. The path I want to move on to is like a 3D artist, but I also like just doing illustrations as well.
Is there anything like you wish you would have known before applying for this major, like when you apply for the scholarship, or
Well,
like anything that
before, okay,
surprised you?
with the scholarship per se, well, what I would like to know is with the Mombo Kagacho scholarship is that you get assigned a dorm at first, and
Mm.
then you have to move. So you have to save up
True,
money.
true that. Oh my God.
I didn't know that at all. So I had saved that money, but I spent it on like a new computer and like stuff for my room, and then it's like, oh shit,
Traveling.
I traveling, yeah. And it's like, oh
Mm,
shit, I have to move. And then when you know about how it works with like in Japan with moving, it's like you have to pay a lot of upfront money at first to be able to move. like it depends on, you can move into a share house or something similar too, but usually you have to pay between like 200 to like 300,000 yen.
Yeah, that's
Um,
quite expensive. So the moment that I know it, it was quite late too. So it's like 3 or 4 months before the time that we have to move. So it's like quite late. So
yeah.
like, I tried doing like a lot of part-time jobs, like
Mm,
putting my shift every day just to get enough money to move.
yeah.
And it was still not enough. I still to ask for help from my family. So yeah,
Mm,
that's the thing that I wish I would have known too. Yay.
yeah. And also with the part-time is that how many months do you have to wait after arriving to be able to work? It was like two,
Three
three
months,
months,
3 months.
3 months around, right?
Mm,
So even if you think like, oh, I can just work and save up the money that way, you have to wait 3 months with no part-time job, and then you have to spend the last like half a year just working your ass off to save up the
mm,
money if you don't have any savings before. I would also say like research maybe a mobile provider or
mhm.
similar before you come, because you have no internet whatsoever when you come. So it's kind
Right.
of good if you already know sort of what sort of plan you want to go for.
Hmm.
Research that. Like Line Mobile was very cheap, and also like just like basic, like if you haven't lived on your own, just like know like sort of how to cook some food, especially if you're like haven't really experienced Japanese food. It's a lot like new stuff when you go to the supermarket.
Yeah, and,
So
and
maybe
for
like,
you, curry.
yeah, I did a lot of curry. A lot of curry, a lot of
Yep, curry udon.
udon noodles. Yeah, that's true.
Oh
um
my God.
yeah, that's why I think it's good if you research a little bit more what you can
Hmm.
cook, you know. Otherwise, you
Yep.
end up like me, basically having to eat curry every single day, not knowing any better, you know.
But it's healthy. Curry is good, but
It was good, but I gained weight. I gained
and
like
that's good. It means you're happy, you're healthy. You
seven
have enough.
kilos, I think.
You have enough food to eat. That means it's
Yeah,
good. You're not starving. Okay.
that's true. At least I didn't lose weight, but some people lost weight
I
too.
lost weight.
Yeah, yeah. So if you want to lose weight, try to go for the skinny route. If you want to gain weight, do like me, eat curry every
Curry.
day. Go for the thicker route, you know. Mm.
Right, right. I mean, you have to do it. Whatever you have to do, just do it. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's what we have to know before coming. So, final question.
Mm.
Are there any tips you want to give to those who are applying to study, the same major as you in Japan?
I would say yes. If you're already like drawing every day, you know, keep doing that. If you're not, try and at least draw a little bit every day, because you will notice you will have to be, because of the amount of homework, it's a lot of pressure to create new stuff, original stuff each and every day. So if you're not really used to it, it will take a lot of your time just trying to think of something, you know, like, what should I do for this topic of the homework, you know? And it might take you several weeks, but you don't really have that amount of time, because during those several weeks, like if you say it takes 2 weeks to think of a new character, you know, during those 2 weeks you will have like 7 new homework already, you know. So it will like stack up and become a lot of pressure in the end. So just try and, like, you know, your expressive side, try new stuff. Definitely just draw.
Okay, so yeah, I think that's the end of the interview. Thank
Yeah.
you for joining me today,
No,
Alex.
no, no, thank you for having
I
me, of
mean,
course.
you're having like really great arts and stuff. So where can people find you on the web?
Oh,
Your
on the
Instagram.
interwebs. Yeah, my Instagram is it's Reco5, RECOFIV3, and also I have an art station, alexanderberg.artstation.com,
Yeah.
and that's basically where I put most of my works.